Welcome guys. Here's a quick little online offering for you. Hopefully it's no more than a week in lockdown. In the interim, this is the best we can do. Probably be slightly distracted by little Alf here. You might be distracted by other things in your home environment. I'm going to try and keep it maybe under an hour. It's a little bit harder to practice at home sometimes, but do your best. Even part of this practice is better than nothing at all. If you've got a couple of things that are like a block, might come in handy, absolutely not necessary. Same deal with the strap. If you normally use it in your practice, then try and just get something like it, maybe a belt or something similar. Otherwise, just a gentle little flow, just to get the body moving and hopefully maybe get you out of your head just a little bit. So we'll start in a seated position. You might let your eyes close. You might let yourself take a little shift and shuffle of weight back and forth through your hips. Let yourself take a few breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as that occurs, just noticing if there's any residual effects of the moments leading up to this particular point where you've rolled your mat out and sat down. Not that you need to change any of that, but just that this becomes perhaps a process of noticing, and maybe as much as you're able, just really committing to being present, regardless of what might be sort of floating around in the space around you outside of this, or off your mat outside of this space. You might notice what sensation you can feel through your feet. Different points of pressure, maybe temperature, maybe a sense of numbness or heaviness. You might shift your awareness to your hands. Notice the different sensations that you feel there. What's different, how it's different. You might notice what you can hear. Not to be drawn away by those sensations, but again, just to let yourself become more aware. And then finally your breath, allow that to take a more focused level of attention. Letting your breath just get a little bit more energetic, a little stronger, a little bit more full of life. Maybe you feel your ribs expand. And then looking to continue that sense of energy over your next 3 breaths in and out. Allowing yourself to take however many more breaths you need. And then gently perhaps allowing eyes to open. Just starting with a gentle twist over towards your left. Feel your spine lift and lengthen. Feel your left shoulder rolling back. Keep trying to create length through your spine with each breath in. Maybe a firmer grounding down through hips on your breath out as you twist open a little further. And then follow your breath around to twist to the other side. Again, notice how you feel as you arrive, and then notice what small adjustments you can make to your shape. And those adjustments you can make to your breath. letting it all be a process of gently becoming more aware of what you can feel in your body or notice in your breath. Anything you can notice about the space around you. And then bringing yourself back towards center, allowing yourself just to roll over ankles or shins, or just shift yourself into a 4-point kneel. And then taking cat-cows, some gentle breaths in to drop your belly, lift your heart, gentle breaths out to round through spine. And then moving through those two poses. This little bit of repetition. You add breath to it. Long, full breaths in and out. And this is the practice, right? Just moving, adding breath, noticing if each time you come back to a place, if it's not just a little different, maybe you notice a little bit more space in your next cat-cow just to grow a little further. And then starting to take some weight out of your hands, sitting hips back towards your heels. You can keep your toes tucked or untucked. Starting to interlace fingers, press palms forwards, draw sternum back towards you. So similar shape through the spine, this rounded position. And then on your next breath in, lift palms up to the sky, bring upper arms outside your ears. Letting yourself take one more full breath in. And then breath out, rounding through spine. Sternum draws back. Just doing it with your breath now as you inhale to lift. Again, upper arms maybe further past ears, lift sternum. Then breath out to round through spine. Taking one more lift of the palms to the sky. Release the bind, cactus elbows. So draw elbow points towards each other. Keep finding a lift through your heart, through your sternum. Letting yourself take one more full breath in here. And then breath out, letting yourself find your way into a 4-point kneel one more time. Letting yourself take another long cat-cow. Maybe it's a little longer than the last. And then tucking toes, letting your knees hover away from the earth. So finding a gentle engagement of your core. You might suck your belly button up towards the ceiling. Press a little bit more firmly through your palms. Maybe find a doming through your upper back. See if you can't let there be just a little bit more energy as everything draws towards center. So squeeze in the thighs in that general direction. And then let yourself be here for a big breath in. Breath out, child's pose, knees wide. Let your forehead gently rest on the mat. Coming back to breath after that little burst of energy. And this might be a nice point to establish an idea of why you've come to this particular practice on this particular day, for what reasons, to reflect on what's important to you over this next 45 minutes or so. Just let that be an idea, a simple one that you keep coming back to if you notice your attention getting distracted or wandering away with your thoughts. Being here for another big breath in. Breath out, finding your way back to a 4-point kneel. Again, a firm press through the palms. Again, a hover of the knees away from the earth. So you come back to this strong position, maybe adding a little bit more energy to it. And then stepping right foot back. Stepping left foot back. Find a strong position in your plank here. Fingertips gripping into the earth, squeezing glutes together, rolling tailbone in underneath yourself. And then taking right knee, see if you can draw it up towards your right tricep. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. See if you can find, again, space between shoulder blades. Step right foot back. And then step left knee towards tricep. Again, maybe it touches, maybe you just focus on increasing or decreasing the distance between tricep and left knee. Maybe get a little longer through the crown of your head as you step the left foot back for plank pose one more time. Getting a little stronger through hands, a little stronger in that squeeze of everything towards the midline. And then dropping knees to the earth, shift weight over fingertips. Slowly lower chest to the earth. Take weight out of your palms for cobra pose. Legs strong and active and straight. Allowing yourself to find length between the tips of your toes and the top of your skull. And at the same time, a gentle lift of your heart. Taking a big breath in. Breath out, forehead finds the earth. Take arms 90 degrees. Slowly start to tent the right fingertips beside you, lift the elbow and roll your right hip up towards the sky, taking the ball of the right big toe up and over. So a gentle twist and opening through the chest as well. So left hand, keep pressing it down towards the earth. And then take the other side. So left fingertips tent, left elbow lifts, roll onto your right hip. Take the ball of the left big toe. Maybe it touches the earth, maybe you're just working your way into this twist. And then turning this into a gentle rhythmic movement. Doesn't have to be super fast, but letting yourself find the pose, find your space, find your breath, and then roll back, just in your own time. See if you can't activate a little bit more through the press of the grounded palm to find that chest opening. Taking one more, or thereabouts on either side. Maybe you're already back in center and that's where you want to stay. And then allowing palms to come by ribs, pressing yourself up either into an up dog or maybe just a gentle cobra, and then into downward facing dog. First time you've arrived here today, allow yourself to explore with movement. And oftentimes it'll be a routine movement, maybe a lift of the heels, maybe a press of the palms. Maybe you allow it just to get a little bit organic. Let yourself play around. Different things, different movements. Maybe you lift one hand, then the other. Just noticing what parts of your body can shift and move and adjust, and letting yourself be open to that exploration. Finding stillness over your next breath in and out. Inhale, rise to your toes. Bend your knees, take hips down towards your heels so you crouch like you're going to spring forwards. Let yourself be here for a long breath in and out. And then roll your way into plank pose. Full breath in to take you long, now energetic through torso and legs. Staying here for a breath in. And breath out, dropping to your knees as you need to lower heart towards the earth. From here, finding cobra pose. And then exhale, palms to the earth, press back downward facing dog. A little bit more rhythmic now as you take a big breath in. Breath out, hips sink towards heels. You've got a big, long inhale to take you into plank, where the exhale will lower you chest to the earth. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, letting yourself take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, rise to your toes. Hips sink to heels. This time flowing with your breath in into plank. A little bit more connection to breath as you lower on the exhale. Maybe even more connection on the breath in as you open chest. Breath out back to downward facing dog. From down dog, walking hands back towards your feet. Gentle forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need. Let your eyes close. Let your head get heavy. And after your next exhale's done, allowing whatever bind you've taken, just to release, let arms hang loose, let knees gently bend, rise yourself all the way to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Let it be a slow process, an unfurling of your spine, followed by a lift of your heart, ground down through feet as arms lift as well. And then bring hands to heart center. Maybe letting your eyes close just for a breath in and out. Long breath in, finding grounding down through your feet, a lift through the crown of your head. And then exhale, folding yourself forwards. Take left hand to the earth, find a twist to your right. So bending left knee, straightening out through right leg. Staying here for a long breath in. And then breath out, folding back to the earth. Right hand to the earth, left hand lifts. Staying here for a long breath cycle. And breath out, letting yourself fold. Inhale, flat back, hands come to shins. Linger here. See if you can activate your quadriceps. So draw knees up towards the sky. Pull your hip creases back. Take your spine long. You're here for one more full breath in. Then breath out, hands find the earth. Walk your way forwards into plank pose. Fingers spread wide. Adjust your feet as you need. Allowing yourself to get strong here through palms. Grip through fingertips. Press through finger knuckles. Notice the sound of your breath as you slowly lower yourself to your right forearm. Taking feet about hips width so you can have space to roll hips to the right for side plank. So pressing hips high, grounding through the forearm of the right arm. Maybe activity through the left fingertips. Letting yourself be strong through the feet as well. Feel the knife edge in particular of your right foot strong underneath you. And then left forearm to the earth, taking the other side. Heels sway to the left. Hips press high. Left hand grounds. Notice the knife edge of the left foot supporting you. As you take both forearms to the earth, find a strong, solid plank pose, and then let hips find the earth for Sphinx. So tops of the toes now pressing, so toes untucked, palms press into the earth, reach heart forward. And then keeping toes untucked, taking yourself into a forearm plank, rolling with your spine. And then following your breath through these movements. Breath in for Sphinx. Breath out, doming through upper back, energetic through legs. Long breaths. In, Sphinx. Breath out, plank. One more full breath in for Sphinx. You might let hands shift by ribs, find cobra or up dog. And then exhale, back to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, allowing yourself to take a long, full breath in. Full breath out. And then inhale to lift your right leg to the sky. See if you can lift it super high, super straight. Bend through right knee. Reach the point of your right knee towards the sky. And then hug right knee into chest core coil. Pressure through palms to find a doming through upper back. And then right leg reaches. Three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot quietly steps. Low lunge. Back knee finds the earth. Press your hips forwards. Reach both arms to the sky. Letting yourself keep that movement of pelvis pressing forwards, of hands reaching, of elevating, lengthening through your spine. And then hands bind at your lower back, fingers interlace. Find a lift of your heart with your chest. Maybe finger knuckles work down back thigh. Maybe work hands away from back thigh now. One more full breath in. Breath out, half splits. Right toes draw back towards your face. See if you can find length through your spine. Keep that length as you fold. Bending through front knee, tucking back toes, looking forward, stepping forward. Forward fold, front of your mat. Next breath in, you rise to stand. Breath out, hands bind at lower back. Breath in to lift your heart, sternum. Exhale, fold forwards. Let yourself be here for a long breath in. Breath out, left hand to the earth, right hand reaches for a twist. Then the exhale folds you forwards. Breath in to twist to the left. And breath out, belly to thighs. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, hands find the earth. Stepping back, plank pose. From plank pose, letting yourself get strong through palms. Take feet hips width. This time you're staying on hands as you roll heels to the right. Vinyasa, side plank. You can take right knee to the earth if you need the support. Wherever you are, press hips high to the sky. Find energy through the top fingertips. Notice the knife edge of your right foot. See if you can use that energy to support yourself as you step left foot back for wild thing. Ball of the left big toe pressing into the earth, heart lifting towards the sky. Taking a big breath in. Breath out, stepping feet back to plank pose. And then taking left hand to the earth. Vinyasa on the other side. Again, left knee underneath you if you need the support. Otherwise, you press hips high. Ground down through left hand. Notice the knife edge of your left foot. Use that to support you as you step right foot over and behind you for wild thing. From wild thing again, feel the knife edge of your left foot support you as you press hips high. Reach heart towards the ceiling. And then breath out, both hands. Find the earth. For an inhale, exhale, lower chest, all the way to your mat for cobra or up dog. And then exhale, meeting back in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, maybe you let your eyes close as you take one long breath in, balanced and consistent. Super long, releasing on the exhale, maybe mouth opens. And then big breath in, left leg lifts. Bending through top knee, so opening hips up to the left. Keep an evenness through both, pressure of both palms. Keep that pressure through palms as you hug left knee to chest, core coil. Get strong through hands, active through back leg. Big breath in to lift left leg high, three-legged dog. And then exhale, left foot steps forwards, low lunge. Again, those bony points on the front of your hips work towards the front of your mat. Once that's happening, see if you can take a big breath in, use that to lengthen your spine. Imagine the ribs on both sides of your body reaching up towards the ceiling. From here, take a big breath in, get a little longer through your spine, and then connect hands at lower back. Palms meet, fingers interlace, hips press forward, chest lifts. Letting yourself be here for a long breath in, maybe finger knuckles work up towards the ceiling, and then breath out, half splits. Left toes draw back towards your face. Long spine as you breathe in. And breath out, keep that spine long as you fold. You're here for a long, full inhale. And full exhale, starting to bend through front knee, tuck your back toes gracefully. Make your way to a forward fold at the front of your mat. And your next breath in, you rise, strong through feet, active through fingertips to stand. And then exhale, hands behind to lower back. Big breath in to lift your heart. Exhale to fold, hang on to that bind. Just for a long breath in. And breath out, hands release, twisting to the right on your next inhale. Exhale, belly to thighs. Inhale, twist to the left. Breath out to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, feet step back. Plank pose. Rolling to the right hand, left fingertip reaches to the sky. You step straight to wild thing. Big, long breath in to find your space. And then breath out. Notice your transition as you make your way to the other side. Let it be as smooth and as fluid as possible. Both hands make their way back towards the mat. Linger for the inhale as you get big and strong in your plank. And then let the length of your exhale take heart to the earth. A long big breath in to find up dog or cobra. And then breath out. Back to downward facing dog. From down dog, allowing hands to walk back towards feet. Finding your way to a forward fold. Maybe arms cross. You notice the difference in this fold to the one you took earlier. Chance to breathe. Chance to notice if your mind has moved, has shifted, your energy levels, maybe your mood or emotion. Maybe reflecting again on what's important to you in this particular practice, coming back to that thought. Letting that focus you on where you want to go to over the next little portion of this flow as you walk hands back towards the front of your mat. For a long breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, right knee hugs to chest. Core coil. Breath in, right leg kicks high, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot steps behind right hand, low lunge. Use the full length of your breath in to lift and lengthen. Get big through your rib cage. Breath out, hands behind at lower back. Feel your heart lift as you take a long breath in, broad across the front of your chest. Half splits. Right leg straightens. Take right hip crease back, but take your collarbones forwards as you fold. Staying here for a long, full breath in. Full breath out, twisting lizard. So left hand to the earth, find your twist, take your weight out of your back knee as you reach right hand for the back foot. So if you've got a block under the left hand, that might help you reach the foot. If you've got the foot, kick foot into hand. And then hug heel back into glutes. So see if you can really hug your heel towards your glute, find a lengthening through the left thigh. Letting yourself take a big breath in. Breath out, back foot finds the earth, tuck back toes. Find runner's lunge, right hand to the earth. See if you can lower hips, tuck tailbone in underneath yourself, and then get a little longer through your spine. Ground down through your right heel, rise up, crescent lunge. From crescent lunge, let your hips get heavy, let them sink. If you can, work your tailbone in a little more firmly underneath you, then let arms get strong and active. Elbows straighten, fingertips reach a little taller. You're here for a full breath in. Breath out, twist to the right. Both arms just extend as you roll your way around. Don't let the back leg turn off. See if you can fill this space up with breath. Get a little longer between fingertips. And then pyramid pose. Cartwheel arms to the earth. Legs or feet can stay where they are. Nice long stance. You got blocks, you want to place them under your hands in pyramid pose. Help you make that connection with the earth. Allow that to happen. And then allow connection with the breath also to follow. Strong activation through both legs. A gentle lengthening of spine towards your front toes. You're here for a long breath. Breath out, bending front knee, stepping left foot to the front of your mat. On the breath in, you let yourself rise all the way to stand. Breath out, hands come to heart center. Something slightly different here. Take hands, fingers facing up. If that doesn't work for you, facing down, just at your lower back. So palms should sit just above your glutes. Squeeze your thighs towards each other. Get a sense of just working your hips forwards. Keep lifting your heart, lengthening. Keep pulling the corners of your shoulders back. So legs stay strong. If you feel any pain in your lower back, then let yourself come out of this space. Keep working elbow points towards each other. Noticing the angle of your chin, maybe not letting your head crank back too far. Allowing yourself to be here for a long full breath in. And breath out slowly. Raising your way up, and then making your way into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Make your peace fingers to big toes. And then coming back to your breath. You notice what has shifted, what's changed. If you feel like perhaps your attention has become a little flighty or a little scattered, allowing your breath to be that thing that brings it back to focus. But you're here on your mat just for a few more minutes, maybe 15, 20 or so, allowing yourself just to be here the whole time. Just using your breath as a tool to get there. Allowing yourself to be here for one more full inhale. And then breath out, releasing hands, releasing bind. Take a halfway lift, hands to shins. And then exhale, hands find the earth. Make your way back to downward facing dog however you like. So you can take a connecting vinyasa, or you can just perhaps take a couple of breaths in down dog. So whatever suits your mood, your energy levels for the day. Together we'll all arrive there in that same space for a long breath in. And out. Next breath in, lift left leg to the sky. Lift it high, strong, straight, press through the heel. Core coil, left knee hugs to chest. Take chest right over your fingertips. You use the energy of that breath to kick left leg high, three-legged dog. And then breath out, gently stepping forwards, low lunge. Back knee finds the earth. Again, energetic reach of the hips forward. Energetic telescoping of the ribs towards the sky. Taking hands to bind at lower back, using that space to breathe a little bit more length across the front of your chest. And then breath out, half splits. Opposing energies, hips pull back, collarbones pull forward. You keep that energy working, not at 100%, but maybe just at about 60. Same with your breath. You don't want to be huffing and puffing, but just enough energy just to remind you that it's there, that anytime you need it, you can turn your attention to it. As you move towards twisting lizard, front knee bends, right hand to the earth. Take the weight out of your back knee first. Recognize that if you have something under your right hand, or even if you tent the fingertips of the right hand, it's going to help you shift the left fingertips back for the foot. If you get the foot, that's all good and well. That's great. Kick foot into hand. If you can't access the foot, just work on your twist. Work on opening the front of your heart. If you've got the foot, start to pull it in towards your glute. So lengthening through the front of your right thigh. sending breath to any areas you feel sensation. And then breath out, letting the foot release, tucking back toes, finding your way to runner's lunge, just to get a little bit of stability through the legs. So take your feet at least hips width, so you're not too narrow in stance, long through your spine, drop your hips, tuck your tailbone underneath you, press your right heel towards the back of the mat, ground down through your left heel, use that energy to rise up, crescent lunge. See if you can keep the depth through your hips that whole way. From here, again, slowly rolling pelvis in underneath yourself, turning the energy back on your back leg, because it probably wants to turn off. So keep focus there, but again, sinking depth maybe a little lower through left thigh. Get active through arms, tuck front ribs in, finding a twist towards your left. So letting arms extend. You don't have to twist completely around to your left. See if you can keep your hips square. Let the twist come from the top half of your spine. And then this is hard work. If you want to get long through arms and fingertips, but deep through legs, then your breath has to work with you. Let the breath again become a point of focus for one more full breath in. Breath out. Hands cartwheel to the earth. Pyramid pose. And you adjust your feet as you need, but let it stay long. Gentle focus on maybe dropping your right hip to the earth. Pulling your left hip back and then activating the fronts of both legs. As that happens, imagine your head perhaps getting super heavy, like it weighs 100 kilos, drawing your spine a little bit longer. And then looking forwards. Bending front knee, stepping forwards. Forward fold at the front of your mat. Ground down through both feet, rise to stand. Again, hands, palms come to rest at your lower back, fingers facing up or down. Squeezing the thighs towards each other. Keep working the hips forwards. Keep lifting your heart towards the sky, and you'll feel if you keep those energies working, hips forwards, heart lifting, the rest of the back bend just kind of falls into place. Maybe working again the tips of the elbows towards each other. See if you can just pay attention to the sound of your breath, the angle of your neck. If you notice that maybe you're feeling pain through your lower back, maybe letting yourself move out of that space. Just ever so slightly. And then slowly letting yourself rise back on up. Bringing your hands to heart center. Rise up to the balls of your toes. So finding an energy through legs. A little bit of wobble, a little bit of balance required. Let yourself just exist in that space of uncertainty. Notice how you can use your breath even there, just to find just a little bit of stillness in the wobbling as you slowly lower hips to heels. For toes pose. From toes pose, sitting straight, taking thighs parallel to the mat. Hands or no hands, just try and get your knees to reach forward, kissing the mat in front of you. Take a dancing camel, right fingertips reach behind you. Left arm sweeps across your body. Maybe lingering here for a breath. And then taking the other side, left arm sweeps all the way around to behind the left heel. Right arm reaches, hips press forward. Staying here to take up space, maybe a little bit more of a lift through the sternum. You take one more dancing camel on either side, just working with the cadence and the pace of your breath. And then eventually coming back to center, take thumbs to sternum, start to lift hips up for another back bend. Maybe even pressing sternum in towards thumbs to lift your spine. Noticing it squeeze of inner thighs, can they work towards each other? And from here you might release one hand, you might release both hands towards your heels, working for your back bend. Maybe one of these variations or an earlier variation worked a little bit better in your body. So just allowing yourself to know how your body works and honouring it and respecting it, taking a variation that suits you best. Wherever you are, filling the space that you're inhabiting up with breath. Big breaths in and out. Breath out, finding your way back out. Hips find their way towards your heels, hands to heart center. So from here again, hands or no hands, see how slowly you can make your way back through toes pose and into a forward fold. So shifting hips back, finding your way into a bind, in your fold. Maybe you slide hands under feet. Maybe you let spine get a little longer. Long breaths in and out. Whatever you've been focused on in this practice, perhaps a chance just to acknowledge any areas outside of this space, off your mat. Notice where your focus has been, especially when things get difficult, challenges arise, routines get thrown out of whack, and just notice where your focus shifts to. And then maybe just recognizing where you need it to be. Noticing how big the gap is between those two spaces. Letting yourself be here for another long inhale. And exhale, releasing hands from wherever they're bound, finding a halfway lift, long straight spine. Exhale, hands find the earth. One more flow on either side. Really similar sequence, but just building, letting things grow. Inhale, right leg lift to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right chest, core coil. Breath in, three-legged dog. Big lift of the right heel. Exhale, cat-like step, low lunge. You've got one full, longest inhale you can manage to grow into low lunge, and then let the hands meet. Use your next breath in to take a little bit more space up across the front of your chest. And then it's half splits. Right toes draw back towards you, spine grows long in front of you, hip crease pulls back. Big breath in. And breath out, twisting thigh stretch. Right hand reaches up and back. You find back foot. Maybe you don't. Again, you just work the twist. If you've got the foot in the hand, kick it into it. And then releasing back foot, back toes tuck, runner's lunge. Find your footing, find your grounding. We get strong through the right foot to rise you up, crescent. Sink hips low, find your breath, and then a twist. From this twist, let right hand continue towards back thigh, left fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. See if you can find a little bit more depth through hips. Maybe lifting left fingertips up and back as left hip crease reaches forwards, or left hip point reaches forwards. And then a cartwheel of hands to the earth, pyramid pose. From pyramid pose, allowing yourself to find strength through the legs, length through your spine, and then a length through your breath. Let it support you. Starting to bend through front knee, hands to heart center. Start to work your way to a bent leg, warrior three, sliding back leg up your mat. So finding a little bit of balance on one leg now. Letting your top side of your body get as long as possible. Press through your left heel. Big, long, full breath in. Breath out. Both hands find the earth. Left foot steps back. Right leg kicks high. Three-legged dog. Right foot finds the earth. You're here for a long inhale. And exhale. Same deal on the left. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee coils to chest. Core coil gets strong here. Use your next breath in to kick left leg super high. And then again, this quiet, slow motion step of the left foot to the front of your mat. You got a long, full breath in to create space across your rib cage, maybe arms lengthening. And then a breath cycle to bind hands. Use your breath to find a broadness, a distance across the front of your chest. Releasing your bind, find half splits. Again, left leg straightens, press left heel into earth, pull the left heel back as you reach the top of your skull forwards. One more full inhale. And then breath out, twisting, thigh stretch, left hand reaches up and back. Kick foot into hand if you've got it, work on the twist if you don't. Just be happy with whatever shape you're in. Doesn't really matter. The practice is just simply your breath and a growing awareness of where your body is in space, how you feel it, what's happening in this moment. Letting yourself take one more big breath in. If you've got the foot, release it. Runner's lunge, both hands find the earth so you can find a firm footing through feet. And then strength through left leg as you rise up. See if you can keep your hips low. Still strong through back leg. Active through arms. Shoulder blades pinch together and work their way down your spine. You might work upper arms outside your ears, but don't let your arms get soft. Keep them strong and straight. A little lower through your front thigh. Maybe hips get heavy. Your back leg gets stronger as you twist. Keep your back leg strong and let that support this twist. And then take back hand to your back thigh. Turn this into a little back bend. Right hip point presses forwards, right fingertips reach up towards the sky. See if you can stay low through your hips, strong through your back leg for one more. Big long breath in. And then breath out, hands cartwheel to the earth, pyramid pose. You've got this little oasis of breath now. Try not to let the energy leave the pose completely, but also see if you can focus on lengthening your inhales and your exhales. One more full breath cycle. When that's done, start to bend through front knee, hands to heart center. Get strong through your back leg, long through your torso. Take your gaze forwards as you work your way into a bent leg warrior 3. Maybe pressing thumbs to sternum. See if you can find a little lift of your heart, tiny back bend even as your gaze lifts, as you reach energy through the lifted heel. Staying here for another full breath in, and then out, hands to earth, right foot gently steps back, three-legged dog. Left leg reaches to the sky. And then breath out, both feet. Find the earth. Let knees find the earth. Reach arms long by your shins. Embryo pose. Again, drawing deep, long breaths in and out. Come back to your point of focus. And maybe a moment to acknowledge that the practice really is just breath and movement in your body. And if you can focus on those things, you can begin to let go of anything else that you might think is a priority, how you look, necessarily what shape the pose looks like. You just recognize that this is really all it's at. Gently letting yourself rise on up before you get too comfortable. Working your way into, we've done dancing camel, we've worked our way into full camel, a gentle back bend with hands at heart. Whatever pose is best for your body, let yourself move into that space. Maybe you take a combination of any of those movements. So you can have a dynamic practice, you can have a still practice. You can take the most advanced poses in the world. You can take the simplest. You could be in child's pose for a full hour, so long as your focus is where it needs to be, on awareness, on breath. Maybe noticing the energy between your thighs as they squeeze to work hips forwards. Keep working for a length through your spine, allowing yourself 3 more full breaths from wherever you are. Again, being gentle on your body, not pushing yourself, particularly in these poses, into a space that's going to hurt your back. Allowing yourself to gently ease your way into things and out of things as you need. And then making your way back to an embryo pose, arms long by shins, forehead on the mat, breath deep and long. Once you know what's important to you, then you can begin just pushing back on a whole bunch of stuff. You can begin to recognize those areas where perhaps you're allowing too much of your focus to sit on other people's priorities, what other people want from you, and enough to notice that you could perhaps smilingly and unapologetically just say, no, this is where I want to focus my time, my energy, on what's important to me. Letting yourself take another big breath in, And out, letting yourself gently rise up. Just shifting hips around underneath you. Taking a figure 4, so you can take fingers facing behind you, take right ankle over left. It can be energetic, it can be passive. You can lift the hips and work your way backwards and forwards till you find something that's interesting. And then breathe into that space. You might notice actively drawing right toes back towards your face makes a difference in the pose, or back towards your shin, I should say. Then easing your way out into the other side. Again, any variation you like. You might even take both hips to the earth, take the right leg long. It can be like a super gentle figure 4. It's whatever you need. And some days it might differ. Some sides it might differ. Left side to right side might need different treatment. Letting yourself be more aware of what you need in any given moment. And then working hips to the earth, uncrossing legs. Taking boat pose. Might be a gentle boat with fingertips reaching forwards. You might keep one foot on the earth, lift one leg, you might lift both legs. If you found your balance point, keep squeezing chest to knees, knees to chest. Find a straightness through your lower back, a broadness across the front of your chest. Maybe you just take the fingertips long now and add a little bit of a pulse of hands towards the earth as you squeeze thighs to belly, belly to thighs. See if you can get a little longer through the crown of your head. Maybe curl the toes either towards the front of your mat or curl them actively back towards your face. Squeeze knees towards each other. Draw a belly button in towards your spine. See if you can get a little stronger here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Reverse tabletop. Hands find the earth behind you. Real gentle lift of your hips. Just undoing that flexion that you've just had through your midline, and then letting hips drop to the earth. Find yourself back to a seat, just cross-legged, letting yourself sit straight, taking a twist to the right, maybe letting your eyes close, noticing again what's shifted, what's changed. You were here earlier. Is it the same? Should it be the same? Does it need to be the same? Does it need to be better? Does it need to be worse? Or can it just be different? And within all those differences, that one constant of your breath being something you can come back to. Allowing yourself, as you're ready, to take a twist on the other side. Again, this conscious unwrapping, unraveling of what you feel, what you notice through body, through energy, of thoughts, of breath. And just like weather patterns shifting and moving, and you are just the earth solid underneath it all. Working your way through change, out of this twist into a comfortable seat. Letting your eyes close, letting yourself take any small adjustments you might like to finish your practice. Letting yourself sit almost dignified, that sense of not slumping passively, but at the same time too, not overworking, just that gentle steadiness. Maybe let that dignity also be reflected through your breath. And maybe even a dignity to your thoughts. Perhaps that you would rise above, that you would not necessarily let yourself be too wrapped up or drawn down by a particular mood or emotion or thought habit or pattern, but indeed that you might still let it exist, but just somewhere a little closer to the periphery of your existence, of your awareness. And you focus on what's important to you. Perhaps in this moment, that might just be your breath. And let yourself take as long as you've got to be here with your breath. And for now, I'll leave you with whatever you have left to practice with until I see you next time on the mat.